to the very first International Climate Webinar Series, Industry Blitz. We are jumping straight into a fast 10 minutes with someone who knows how to get things moving. Please welcome Gabe Klein. Gabe recently headed up the U.S. Joint Office of Energy and Transportation, directing a lot of funding for cleaner transportation. Before that, he was the transportation guru in Chicago and D.C., responsible for things like those big bikes programs and making our streets more pedestrian friendly, public, private, and startup. Gabe done it all. Gabe, let's hear what you have to say and share with us today. Welcome.
Thanks, Salima. Thanks for the warm welcome. It's great to be here.
Nice having you. Like I just introduced, we are going to jump directly in our question. You will hear me, but you will have to answer fast. Scooters, saviors or menace of urban transit?
Oh, saviors.
Saviors.
No question. Look, the envelope is small and it moves somebody just like a car, right? At 12 miles per hour through the city.
Great. Self-driving cars, dream or nightmare commute? What do you think?
It all depends on, number one, how good the technology is, and two, how it's deployed. There are companies out there doing a phenomenal job with it and working with cities and have great policy chops. And there are companies that don't, and maybe their technology isn't up to par for urban driving. There's a difference between automated driving on the highway and automated driving in a city.
Okay, let's jump to the third question. Biggest hurdle to sustainable transportation in the next 5 years?
It's a great question. I'm going to answer that with in the situation we're in right now. So I think that there's a lack of focus, meaning there's so much disruption happening right now at the federal level, and it's causing so much uncertainty, both for cities and for states and the business community that fulfills a lot of this work, as well as people, just individuals. So people are having a hard time focusing as much on sustainable transportation versus basic human rights. So I think, think of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Unfortunately, sustainable transportation may not be the most important thing when you're operating in a very chaotic environment. And then, of course, the question mark around funding is the big, and will funding be released or not released? If it's released, then we have money to do things. If not, then you have to rely on public-private partnerships.
Great. Now, Startup City book. Your 2-word essence about it?
It's really about serving the public, whether you're in public or private, as fast as humanly possible. So that was more than 2 words, but all right. How was this? Do good, be good. Do good.
Great. Do good, be good. What is the most underutilized transportation technology right now from your point of view?
Well, you're going to laugh proudly, but I would say walking and biking. And walking, you don't think of it as a technology. Some people don't even think of it as a transportation function, but it is. It's the original mode of transportation. 52% of all trips in the U.S. are less than 3 miles. 28% are less than 1 mile. Only 2% of trips are more than 50 miles. But where do we put our money? And on top of that, we have a health and obesity crisis, right? But we avoid walking often, not everybody, but often at all costs. And now with the advent of the e-scooter and the e-bike or the regular bike, if we need to go further or faster, a bike or an e-bike makes total sense. You go up to 6 miles, 7 miles, 8 miles, faster than you can in a car in an urban context.
Great, because this is linked to my next question. One quick win the city can implement to improve mobility.
I think putting in protected bike infrastructure and complete sidewalk networks, as well as crosswalks. Um,
Uh,
those are things that will make people feel safe.
Absolutely, absolutely. I can relate. I'm not supposed to talk so much, but my daughter, she's young and she's really asking the same question when we can bike and walk, even in the suburb.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
it's not very expensive. You can do it inexpensively and have a huge impact on people's lives.
absolutely. Going back to cars, what is your worst traffic jam story you want to share with us?
Oh gosh. I mean, so many. Well, people always say that Washington, D.C. has some of the worst traffic in the country. And I always argue back. I'm like, I don't know. I've lived in the city on and off for 25 years. I don't experience a lot of traffic. It's when you're in the suburbs coming in or whatever that you have challenges. And I will say that in the DC region or the Chicago region where I also live, if you're at rush hour trying to get in or out of the city, it can be extremely painful. But for me, the worst has been in Los Angeles, trying to get from the airport into the city. Even just last week, traffic was insane. And I looked out my window from the hotel and I saw the freeway was moving considerably
Yeah.
slower than the cars on the street grid. So that's when you know the system doesn't work.
Hopefully, we will see this changing slowly but surely, Gabe. Um,
Yes.
what is the future of public transit? Is it trains, buses, or something else? Uh, we talked about walking and biking, but I will let you choose between these three.
It's interesting. I work on a streetcar here in DC. Streetcars made a comeback for a bit.
Mhm.
They were this important link that connected neighborhoods. I think bicycle transit systems in the form of bike share
Mhm.
have in many ways approximated what streetcars used to do, linking neighborhoods. In terms of whether it's a train or a bus or a streetcar or a bike share system, I think the most important thing is that it works really well. Uh, people argue for the bus over the train. I don't care about any of that. Does it go where people want to go? Is it cost effective at the end of the day? And like bike share here in DC, I'm extremely proud of. It costs, or at least at one time, it costs more to operate per bike than any other
Mhm.
system in the country. But it was also the most profitable because people used it because it was run so well. So it's not always just about cost, it's about total value of the service. And you can have a very expensive train system, but if it's really heavily utilized, then it works.
Yeah, great. It's mostly about efficiency. How do we
Yeah.
make transportation more inclusive then?
Well, I think the great equalizer in transportation is accessibility slash access to it and cost. So again, I just gave the Capital Bike Share example. I view that as transit.
Mhm.
I'm incredibly proud of it. It uses cutting edge technology, sensors, solar energy, so it doesn't need to be plugged in, GPS and wireless, and a great application to bring a simple and healthy transport system to all residents in the city, or really in the region now here in DC or in New York or in Chicago, right? I also did the Chicago system with my team, and it's very low cost, 26 cents per day here in DC for unlimited riding. You can't beat that. So when you think about access and cost
Mhm.
to the consumer, and then return on investment for the city or the region, I do think bike share pretty much take the cake. I think that it also complements the bus and the train extremely well. Um, and so, going forward, we need to make sure we're providing access cost effectively and prioritizing services that are good for everyone, including those not using them.
Our time is up, but I will love to hear from you. What are your top three songs for road trip playlist?
Oh, wow.
Let's
That's a
play
good one.
and see which kind of music you are listening.
I mean, I like everything, but I would say, I would play probably a combination of like old school stuff, New Order.
Okay.
Uh, I love old hip hop like Eric B. and Rakim, um, Far Side. I mean, there's so many great groups. And then maybe sprinkle in like a punk song, like Big Black or somebody from Chicago.
Oh,
But
really,
yeah,
really eclectic taste in music. It's been
absolutely.
a
That's me.
pleasure to have a ride with you. I want to tell you.
Anytime, anytime you want to come.
Thank you.